Today I'm having a look around this moody DS54 that you can see behind me. It's a very great story because the makers of this boat have decided to take the best out of two boats that were previously built, and this is what came out of it. So it's a really beautiful boat that we will have a look around today. So I hope you will join me to see what it's all about. It's 54 feet long. That sounds really big, but it's actually designed so that only one person can sail it easily, or if you're two, then that of course makes it more easy still. Come and join me. I'm sitting at the port side helmsman position. As you can see in front of me, there's a really nice black shiny carbon steering wheel. This is an option that you can decide for. There is of course other options as well, so if you want another color or another material on your steering wheel, that's possible as well. Behind here I have everything that I need to control my navigation. So for example, on the right here I have my seat chart, I have all the switches for the lights outside around the deck, also on the mast, all the lights that I need to take care of. I have my compass, I have the control for the bow thruster, there's one in the aft as well. I have the panels that show me the depth of the water, my speed over ground, etc. And I have all the switches here to control the winches, the jib furler, etc. That's all down here. And of course I can also go without sails and use the engine instead, and the engine control is up here. As you can see, I'm sitting on a very wide seat in the helmsman position, so there would be space enough for two of us sitting here. And if I want to, I can also just slide to the side and I have a nice view around the entire deck to the front of the boat. Or if I'm really more of a chilling kind of person, I can just lean back and enjoy my ride from here. This is the second helmsman position on starboard side. You can see there's all the different panels and controls that we had on port side as well. So it's very easy for two people to steer this boat together. But as I said before, it is possible to do it one-handed, so just one single person to navigate the entire boat. What I do have here that was missing on the port side, instead of all the switches for the lights, I have the autopilot control down here. I also have my radio in case of an emergency or whenever I need somebody. And I have a separate engine control here as well. So the engine is a 150 horsepower engine. It's fueled by a 520 liters diesel tank. So there's plenty of speed going on if you prefer that. Just around the corner, so really an easy access from the helmsman position, I have the big winch and all the sheets that are fed away, so they're hidden away. I can't see them until they actually come out here, and I control them from up here as well. This is the cockpit area. It's huge compared to the size of the boat. You can see there's one bench on this side here. 3 people can easily have space here. We also have the sofa on the other side, so I would imagine another 3 to 4 people can comfortably sit. So there's really a lot of room for all your family, all your friends that you want to take along on your boat. Up above me we have little ceiling lights in the fixed ceiling here, so even when it gets dark we can have really nice mood lighting out here. And you can also spot the outdoor speaker up there. So it depends on the kind of system you want inside your boat. You can have a really good entertainment system installed, and then of course those speakers would have the music that you put on that you enjoy. Behind me you can also see 2 drinks holders. There's one in every corner, so everybody who's sitting here can have their drinks stored away behind them. So I would imagine, for example, sitting here playing a board game and no drinks come in the way. And speaking of the big table for playing games, we can even enlarge that so the other people on the other side of the boat can also have the table. I'll have to stand up for that to show you. This is huge. This is the biggest table that I've seen on a boat so far. So there's massive room for everybody, and of course if we don't need all the table space, we can just store it away again and have the passageway clear up. The weather is really nice today and we're not too bothered by the sun. If it would get too hot here, we can also open a sunroof. That would be fixed right here, and it can just be slid back easily and be fixed. And then we have a really big shaded area out here in the cockpit. Below to my left, you see the cushions you have seen before. Here we have a nice orange color, but we can of course decide whatever color you want. So just talk to your dealer what you would enjoy as a color, and then that can be done. It doesn't only apply to the cushions, that can be applied to the walls, to the color of the hull, to the color and material of the floor, and everything in the interior part of our boat as well. When I put away this cushion here, below I have one of the cockpit lockers. It's very big. I'll open it up for you. It slides open easily. There's a hydraulic mechanism, so it stays up here. No fear of getting hurt by this. And as you can see below, there's even a little ladder going down, and there's plenty of room. So if there's ever kids annoying you, you can just shut them away. No, just kidding. This is the inside part of the starboard cockpit locker. So you can see it's massive. There's so much room here. I could easily store my dinghy and my barbecue equipment and my bicycles, and there would still be room. So enough space for everything. And behind me you can see there's all controls for all equipment and all electrical things that are going on this boat. So whenever there's maintenance work going on, there's a very easy access through the cockpit, and there's actually natural light coming down here, so that makes everything very easy. I'm sitting on the foredeck. Usually we could have put down some cushions below me as well. Today we decided not to, in order to show you this huge skylight that's beside me. So that goes down directly into the forward cabin, which gives a lot of natural light to that cabin and to the sleeping area below, which we will see later. Right next to it, this is called a self-tacking jib. So this will make it easier to change the directions, because the foresail will tack itself by this construction here. Right next to it is the mast. It's 25 meters high, and it supports a total sail area of approximately 140 square meters. So that's quite a lot if you're lying down here and can see all that sail up there. And what we can also see is that all the lines, all the sheets are hidden away right when they come down from the mast. So there's a minimum area where there's actually lines lying around, so no way of tripping, and also of course a lot of safety for children, for example, that are playing out here because they can't get everything out of order. I'm sitting in the very bow of our boat. You can see next to me the anchor. It is connected to this electrical winch, so it's just a push of the button on a remote control, and the anchor is operated automatically. So there's no heavy lifting involved at all, and that makes that, of course, very comfortable. Right next to me here, we have an option that you can decide for. It's called the double forestay. So it would be possible to have 2 foresails, which makes it easy to navigate in every condition, in every wind direction, and then all the sails can be put in the right direction as well. Right next to me here, just below the rail, we have the cleats. It's very neat because they're retractable, so whenever there's no lines around, I can just push them down and they're stored out of the way, so nothing can happen there. Then another cool gadget that we have right in front here, we have a huge locker. So when I open this hatch in the floor, it also stays up, so no way of getting hurt. And you can see another huge locker down there. So it's the entire bow area of the boat that we can use as a locker here. So another really big storage area down here, another space to store your fenders, for example, or the cushions that you can put out on the foredeck. And from down here, there's also access to the box where the anchor chain is hidden away. I'm standing on the bathing platform. It's completely automatic, so just by pushing a few buttons right next to the steering wheel, it will be lowered or put back up. So there's no need for me to do any heavy lifting. Right next to me here is the ladder that I can put down into the water. It is nicely stored away up here usually, and then I can just lower it down into the water. We won't do that now because we're still in the marina and we don't want to go swimming here, but just so you get an idea what it looks like. The bathing platform is right above the water level, so it's really easy to get into the water. And as you can see behind me, there's this massive storage room here. It can be accessed from up here as well, just beside the helmsman positions. But of course it makes storing really easy. If you can put in your dinghy, for example, all your blue water equipment, all the toys that you need in the water, they can just be put down here, and it's directly accessible from the bathing platform as well. I'm sitting on the starboard side in the cockpit area. You can see that the sofa is really long. There's space for a lot of people. If you don't need that, you can also decide to have put a wet bar right in this spot. So that would mean a little sink with a worktop or even a grill installed right next to it. So if you want to take that option to have a little outdoor galley feeling, that's possible here as well. And now I'm going to take you inside to show you what one level living really means. Right next to the sliding door from the cockpit to the saloon area, we also have a sliding window, and that opens the both areas nicely up so they're connected, and that's what one level living is all about. So you can see that the cockpit area has the exact same height as the saloon, and that means that all the living is all on one level. So it doesn't matter if you're sitting outside or inside, everybody's connected. And of course that concept gives us more space down below, because with the saloon completely up here, we have a lot more room downstairs, and that gives this boat a living area that is pretty much the same as a boat that's 10 feet longer. So that is very special for this little boat that we have here, that there's actually more room inside than what you can see from outside. What I see first in the saloon area is the pantry. You can see here it has a very beautiful black top and the same red wood that we have all through our boat. Right here, that's very convenient, all the rubbish bins are hidden away in the side of the pantry here, so nobody trips over anything, nothing stands in the way, and of course the smell is also hidden away. In the pantry we have a sink. This is also hidden, so everything that we have is hidden under those black worktops, so we have a lot of work space there. But when we open it up, there's the sink here. We also have our fridge in the back. It is accessible from the top but also from the bottom, so that makes organizing very easy. Then in the back here we have our stove. We can open the top up again, have the backsplash here. We also have a nice handrail, so when there's waves and we're cooking, we can still be very safe. And also, as you can see, a lot of storage space all around, so we have a lot of drawers. And what I particularly like is this cupboard here. When I open it, it folds out and there's even more storage space behind, so the best place to put all your pots and pans, and they're way out of the way. And even like in a real kitchen at home, we have this massive drawer here for all our cutlery that's nicely stored as well. Right across from the pantry, I have even more work surfaces, so there's a lot of room to put everything that I need. And there's a little step here as well, just like in the pantry, so nothing can fall off even if the boat is in motion. What you can see below, right now it's still wrapped just in case of any scratches because the boat is really new. But in here we have additional fridge space, so there's 2 fridges even. And we can see inside it there's also an ice maker. So that's all options that you can decide to have in your boat. There's also the option to have a coffee maker installed, or a real ice cupboard, or a dishwasher even. So whatever you want in your pantry, that can all be organized. And in here we have those 2 fridges, so that makes a lot of nice cool drinks to have outside in the cockpit area. You can see above me there's a lot of standing height. The ceiling is softened, so no way of bumping the head. And there's also a handrail here, so wherever I go on board there's always a place to hold on to. This is the navigation area right inside the saloon. So you can decide yourself if you want to sit outside in the cockpit or inside if you're going by engine, and you have everything that you need to control the engine, the autopilot and everything else right here. There's also a reading light. That's a yellow light or also a red light. If you want to come up here at nighttime, it's easier for the eyes to see your seat charts. If you don't need your seat charts, there's room below, so you can just store everything away and it's out of the way. What's really neat as well is right behind me, there's a little flap here. And if you want to, you can have a TV included in your entertainment system, and that would be retractable and just fold down here. So whenever you're not watching it, it's out of the way, but whenever you need it, it's right across from the sofa. You can also see that there's a lot of room around me, so I can see everything that's in front of me, everything that's to the sides of me, because we have 360-degree windows all around our saloon, and there's also the skylights. We can of course put up blinds or some insect screens as well, so we can have them open, but at the same time keep all the bees and insects outside. I'm sitting in the middle of the saloon, and you can notice there's a flap in the floor right in front of me. I can open it up by myself, just one-handed, and there's a mechanism there that keeps it up here, so the flap doesn't fall down. There's a ladder below, and that will take me right down into the engine room. So there's really easy access to the engine. I can sit up down there, stand down there, and everything is right there. So for maintenance work, for cleaning out the water filters or whatever you need to do, it's very easy. It's inside, so sheltered, so no rain coming from above, and it's just hidden away here in the floorboards. I'm sitting in the portside guest cabin now. As you can see, there's a lot of room beside me. I have a double bed here, a lot of storage space all around me, a lot of reading lights as well, and I think it's a really nice lighting concept in general. So I have the normal ceiling lights, but also inside the wall at the windows I have nice dimmed lighting, so it's very comfortable down here as well. This is the port side of the boat, but on the starboard side we can have a second one of those double cabins if we want. If you prefer to have your galley down here on this level, it's also possible to have the galley on the starboard side, and then of course the saloon will have a lot more sofa space up there. You can see that even in the guest cabin I have a really high standing height, so even a tall person can stand easily when in this cabin. And of course there's also a lot of natural light coming in due to the skylight and the side windows there. You notice a door behind me. That's not the entrance to the cabin, but it's the entrance to the ensuite bathroom that is directly accessible from the guest cabin. This is the guest bathroom. I'm standing in the shower now. Around the corner I have a really good rain shower, so it's like at home. I have the toilet in here as well, and as you can see there's a little step, so when I'm in the shower I don't put everything underwater, only the shower and toilet area. When I come out here I have the sink, a lot of little storage areas, little cupboards up here for all my necessities that I have, all my toiletries that I need right next to the sink. There's also a big mirror in the door, and what I notice, there's again a lot of skylights, one above me here and one in the shower. Again a very high standing height, and there's a second door from the bathroom, so I can enter and exit the bathroom from the guest cabin or from the area outside that's right next to the staircase. This is the master cabin. It's situated right in the bow of our boat. As you can see, it's huge. It's so massive, it's really amazing. There's a double bed, almost 2 meters long, so plenty of room for 2 people to sleep comfortably. You can as well see the very high headroom again, so I can sit upright with lots of room above me, and I can stand as well all around the cabin. There's a really nice lighting concept again, so we have the ceiling lights and those little lights around the room that make for really comfortable lighting even in the evenings. But when it's still light out, you can see there's tons of natural light coming in. So I have 3 skylights. 2 of them can be opened. The one in the middle is the one that we saw earlier from the foredeck as well. So there's so much natural light coming down here, so you can't really imagine being in the basement of the boat, so to say. And there's more windows on the side of the cabin as well. So from each direction there's light coming in. What I really like are the headboards behind me. There's a nice leather covering there that of course can be changed depending on what you like, but I think it makes a really elegant flair in here. In the same kind of design is the side wall here. There's a little storage behind as well. We have blinds, of course, so we can still have our privacy if we want to. And the entire wall is covered in this kind of satin covering. So that's really beautiful as well. And the same at the ceiling. It's another material there, but the ceiling is very soft. So even if I would bump my head, it wouldn't hurt at all. For the big windows in the ceiling, we do have insect screens, so we can actually sleep in here with the windows open. And of course we have the blinds as well, so at night we can have it nicely covered. And as you can see all around me, the entire wall is covered with overhead storage. So there's a lot of room to bring the entire library if you want to. And of course there's also cupboards for everybody, and we have an ensuite bathroom here as well that's directly accessible from this master cabin. As you can see, there's a lot of storage space. For example, in the back here we have this cupboard, everything for hanging. We have the shelves here, and there's actually light coming out of the side of the cupboard, so even in the evenings I don't have to switch on the lights to see what I need in the cupboard. And what I personally like a lot is this shoe cupboard down here. So there's an extra space to put the shoes. They're not lying around, nothing to trip over, and they're nicely stored out of the way. In the corner of the master cabin, I have a little writing desk. I'm sitting on a stool that can be easily put wherever I need it, so that's very convenient. There's storage below here, also up here, and also beneath my feet. So there's a lot of space inside the master cabin to put away everything that doesn't need to be lying around. And from here I can also control the heating and the air condition. And now I'm going to show you the ensuite bathroom from the master cabin. This is the ensuite bathroom. It's directly accessible from the master cabin. It has everything one needs. As you can see, there's the sink area here, again with a lot of storage options everywhere just around the sink where I need it. And there's also the toilet right next door. So the toilet and sink area are separated from the shower, so the toilet doesn't have to take a shower with you when you're in the shower, because the shower is separated by a glass door that we can put up, as you can see right now. So through the glass door I'm in the shower. It's a really professional shower that's lying right next to me, and we have a little seat here as well, so we can sit down even if there's a bit of waves. Then we don't have to stand here, but as you can see, even the standing is really comfortable because there's a lot of headroom left. And again, we have the skylights, so the entire bathroom area is really nicely lit as well. I'm in the saloon now. You can see on the port side there's a second companionway just across from the galley area. Down on the left we have a cabin that I will show you now, and just across is another door to another bathroom. So everything is very neatly put together, and there are those 2 companionways, so all the cabins are nicely stored away. I'm port side in the aft area. You can see I'm sitting in a single cabin. Standard would be to have a double cabin here, but the owners have decided to have a single cabin here, for example for a skipper to have his own space to go back to, and to have another fridge on the side here and a lot of storage space. So the entire wall is full of cupboards and little storage areas, as you can see. There's also a lot of light coming in from all sides. So here, here and up there we have 3 windows, so a lot of natural light even though we're rather far down. And speaking of the skipper, there's also an option to have a real skipper's cabin, where on this boat we have the big storage area in the bow of the boat. So as you might remember, when I was sitting next to the anchor, there was this big storage area there, and we can have a cabin there as well. But the owners of this boat have decided to put it back here instead of another double cabin. So all in all, we could have 4 double cabins plus a skipper cabin on this boat, if that's what you want. But as I said before, it's your boat, so it's completely up to you how you want to have it designed. This was the tour of our Moody DS54. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. There was a lot to explore, especially all the hidden things that you don't see at first sight. And I can say it's the perfect boat for bigger groups because there's just so many options for many beds, and everybody has plenty of space here. But of course, it's also possible to steer by yourself or just be a couple that's sailing together. And it's definitely a perfect boat for circumnavigations or for longer trips in any destination, really, because inside you have heating, you have air conditioning, but also so much space out here, so it doesn't really matter if you're in the Baltic Sea or in the Caribbean. As you have seen, there's a lot of things that you can decide yourself what you want your own boat to look like. So if it's the cushions, the color of the floor, or the ceilings, that is all up to you. So just contact one of your dealers. We have dealers everywhere around the world, and there will be one in your area as well, and they will be able to tell you everything that's possible to create your personal dream boat.